Green Jobs Project is working to build the resilience of these schools by putting trees in the compounds.
Abazira bari neighboring the park and go bari kubazara.
Utichi tuwire mwani tukalawa erisibo mwakisuchi tukayalisha erisibo mwamusitu tukayahia tukalawe kweneni
obuwara nebana kutendekero tunawusaba tendekibe tokutendekero lebe uli mwana ngayisomera hatya tuwite ewira obuwara nibunena kutendekero tunawutaba tendekibe tokutendekero lebe uli mwana ngayisomera kinyamanika iwene kinyamanika iwene wenene kinyamanika iwene kinyamanika iwene wenene nawe ilo mulanga sharulani elitendekero yasire kinyamanika yamaleta baeni katuyaze ekinyamanika yabirasa kundi tutekeso itabo zishangulani mase tubereyo nubira mulanga sharulani elitendekero yasire kinyamanika yamaleta baeni katuyaze wenene kinyamanika yabirasa kuitutekeso itabo zishangulani utabatanda chibe tokutendekero lero buli mwana kayisomera hatya tuwite obiranda hatya tuwite obiranda hatya tuwite obiranda 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 yeah Good morning, Kule.
Good morning, Vera.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How was the village?
The village was okay.
Kule, I saw pupils planting trees yesterday here at school. What was the reason for that?
Oh, nature is our friend here at school. We planted trees to have shade and fresh air. Trees also attract rainfall.
I saw them even planting fruit trees. Why did they plant fruit trees?
Oh my God. We hope fruit trees will provide food for pupils who don't pack food here at school.
Oh my God, that is great plan. I like it. Another day I saw pupils planting trees in the valley. What were they?
Oh my God, this is good. They were bamboo trees.
Why did you plant them along the river?
We planted them to control floods from destroying people's property.
Oh my God, this is wonderful. From today I'm going to tell my community to do the same.
That is good. We want to have a green school, a green community, and a green world.
Kule, you are telling the parents that they don't know how to conserve the environment. I'm going to ask you my question. Am I allowed?
Yes, you are free to ask.
How can we conserve environment?
By planting trees, by avoiding troublemaking, and etc.
What is deforestation?
Deforestation is the cutting down of trees.
What is overgrazing?
Overgrazing is the rearing of animals on the same piece of land.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Greet your parents.
The same to you.
Thank you.
Recognizing my fellow head teachers from various schools of the region, ladies and gentlemen, the honor to welcome you to Nyambanika Primary School. This has been a special day to host such a big function to launch a green school project in this region, and most particularly in this school. We are very happy and very applauded for that. My friends, Uganda has had so many environmental challenges due to poor environmental management. To hit on a few, flooding of water bodies, such as rivers, which has led to the loss of people's lives. In addition, people's property has been damaged. We look at bridges, roads, institutions, and the like. Those challenges are due to poor environmental management. Then through working with WWF and the WWF, we are trying to eliminate the scourge through ensuring good environmental methods such as planting of trees along river banks. And for this case, when you go to the river nearby in that valley, there is a river called the area. Our children, together with the support of their teachers, the WWF and WWF, we have planted bamboo trees along the river banks to stop the flooding of the river. In addition, we planted trees along the road from the other trading center called Kitumba up the school here, with the support of WWF, our children, and with them we planted trees so that we can really end the problem of environmental challenges. Not only that, we are trying to put woodlots or plantation forests, artificial forests in place. That's you are seeing eucalyptus trees around the school. When you go down in the compound, we have planted guava trees or fruit trees and other tree species. By doing that, we are trying to end this challenge of the environment. In my capacity and in the name of school management committee and PTA staff and pupils, I thank WWF and WWF for partnering with us as a school by putting in place environmental measures like planting trees, in order to have a moderate climate change. You are applauded for that, WWF and WWF. Clap for them. In addition, I thank the chairperson LOC5, Uganda District, and chairperson LOC3 for Kabonero and Bukarasabu counties for the offer of a new 2-classroom building, which has given the school a good image change, and yet still requests for more 6.
We have already organized where we're going to plant is just here down. We want any or every head teacher from here.
Yes. Mango is okay for you? Yes. Let's walk.
No, just leave her.
We are planting this tree on behalf of WWF and its partners, signifying the launch of the Green Schools project. A project which is going to rally around 35 schools to plant trees and ensure effective management of the environment and promoting living in harmony with nature. So I planted this tree on behalf of this. This one is called the panda tree. Panda is an animal which is bearing the logo of WWF. So this is actually a WWF tree. So I planted it for God and my country. And I will be coming here to see this how it's doing.
That's right.
Yes. Let's plant trees for a generation.
Sure.
Good.
We go down.
One more picture. Still picture. Yes. How are you? I'm okay, sir. Greening the 35 schools in Rwenzori age and ensuring that 31,000 girls and boys, targeting largely 7 to 18 years, are having a green and a healthy environment, and they have access to knowledge, concrete tools, as a network to create sustainable and climate resilience change locally, resilience change locally. So that's what we are looking at. Can we have the 35 schools that we are pioneering with? That's why we have the 35 head teachers here. In that, we want to see 31,000 girls and boys actively participating so that those schools will have the health environment which is climate resilient. So who are the targeted group? The targeted groups for the project, we are looking at, like we have already said, the 31,000 children in the 35 selected schools.
and the area, I've already talked of the area where the project is covering. Then our secondary targeted group will come from the 35 schools. The head teachers are here, so which means in 10 teachers. In each school we shall have 10 teachers who will then also be the target group with our parents and the local community. So which means the training at a certain point in time will come to your school with the 10 teachers. Then the stakeholders, who is having a role to play in this project? Who has the part to play in this project? We say, okay, we have the school management committees, the PTAs, those are the first. Because we get the land, authority, and the support from them. Then the local communities, the parents that are within where our schools are hosted. Then we look at the district authorities. Tomorrow, after 4 years, after 3 years, at any one time, these projects we hand over them. That's why we're having the district education officers here, district environment officers here. So they must be part of this project at all times. Anytime they don't even need me, they need to check on this project and inform me. I've gone to Kinyampanika school, it's doing like this. I've gone to Buera secondary school, it's like this. I've gone to this school, so the district education officer, as you are going to inspect classwork, the co-curricular activities, the syllabus coverage, remember to check on the woodlots. Remember to check the trees. Remember to check the greening of the compound. Don't look at only the syllabus coverage. Now you know that the new curriculum involves what? Outdoor sessions, the hands-on, the practicals, the projects that children must do. So it's an opportunity now that Green Schools has brought in this chance where you can, most especially secondary, there are some secondary schools that are among here, where children are supposed to do projects from senior 1 up to senior 4. So a child can have a project under the Green Schools project, which is supporting the wildlife clubs in what? The school. Then outcome. The outcome too is to have the strengthened children and youth knowledge on nature and climate resilience. These children are struggling to cross the bridges, they find flooded roads, they find different challenges, dry weather, extreme heat. How are they going to be strengthened to handle that? Then also, they strengthen the children and youth attitudes and behavior towards the conservation of natural resources. So want to see that outcome coming out clearly. But there are outputs that will come immediately. We are looking at, okay, in adapting the school green policy, we should have the improved knowledge and awareness of climate resilience at the school management level. So starting from the teachers, the head teacher, the parents, the PTA, and the children, all there should be that awareness. Every person around that should be aware of the climate resilience and the challenges that come with it. Then two, within school governance action plans established and implemented. So we need to see that there's a governance action plan coming out so that we can then be able to support the green policy at school level. Two, the output two looks at the playbooks. That's now into curriculum. Developing something that the children are going to be using to learn, contextualize, and implement these projects, the project activities. Then the mainstreaming nature and climate into formal education. Yeah, this is where it is. That's why we are having the head teachers here. We need your support. The district education officer. We are trying to say that now climate and nature should be mainstreamed into the formal education. So which means you can create room to timetable it, give teachers the time. The training and the capacity building, don't worry. WWF and its partners will do that to ensure that these teachers are empowered to do that, and in the curriculum and in the timetabling there's part for this. Then the school teachers' capacity is strengthened. I talked about it. The last output looks at the existing and newly established nature clubs. So we already have clubs like Kinyampanika Primary School already has the wildlife club. So that's why we are saying we want the existing one to be strengthened and also establish new wildlife clubs across all the 35 schools. That's for the beginning. But the overall goal is to cover the whole of Rwenzori. So as we work hard, we mobilize more resources, we are going to extend until we touch the last school in Rwenzori and strengthen the students' capacity. Next is strengthen the engagement and participation of children in activities contributing to conservation. Like you saw how they were rushing to pick trees. These children were all rushing to pick trees to plant meaning Kinyampanika Primary School already has the mindset change ever since I started visiting here in 2022. It's like a model school here. In other schools, you tell children to pick trees to plant, they move around and run with the teachers, meaning their mindset has not yet been worked on. But here you mention about planting a tree, all of them right. So this is what we want to see as an output. When they say we are all coming out of class, WWF or ATE has brought trees, they all move to the same direction. So the project will measure that change in the children. Are we achieving or we are wasting time? Then the activities are not so many, but we are among the activities, I don't think I will go to that detail, but we shall be doing, I want to explain it in the strategy. We have the strategic actions on how we want to deliver this project. How do we want to achieve this? We have the first strategic action. One that is to focuses on developing the new curriculum. The new curriculum, I said, looks at the nature and climate education. How then are we going to ensure that the curriculum should focus on biodiversity, should have the issue of ecosystem services, as well as having collaboration between schools, WWF, our partners, and all the national bodies and networks that are looking at designing curriculums at different levels. Push the voluntary nature and climate clubs at schools. I think already most of the schools that we've worked with have the nature clubs. So, but we are saying these clubs should be voluntary. As we continue talking to this young generation, as we talk to these learners, they should be able to join that club voluntarily. Never stand up and go and force these children that all of you should join. Our work is to sing the gospel, preach the gospel. As soon as the child's attitude changes and behavior, they will join the club automatically. When they see the benefit that comes to the ones that are active, they go for study tours, they go to UWA, they learn, they get the permits from wildlife clubs to access the conservation areas, then that child will come in automatically. So we are saying voluntary clubs should be in the schools. The focus of the project would be to facilitate the exchange between various clubs within these schools. And at the end of it all, we want to see that 2,000 girls and boys are actively participating. Much as we are having 30,000 learners being targeted, but actively in the clubs, the ones that will be voluntarily working and pushing the agenda of conservation in the school clubs, we are looking at it, 2,000 girls and among the 35 selected schools. It's from the action plan that when we come to a particular school, what are your needs? You have the budget, you have the challenges that the school faces, environmental challenges in that area, 60 classrooms, lack of accommodation. He knows what he lacks in this school. So the green action plan should have all that detail, so that when we go to school, from school to school, we have that in place. So with that, I mean Ojelele Etubi, the project manager for Green Schools and Green Jobs projects. I work with WWF. I am based in Kasese. I stay in Kasese.
Elaborate presentation that everyone here, I saw them nodding their heads in agreement of whatever you were presenting. So as we speak, event. Thank you, Chairman. The patron and not really passing by your office, because there's always normally a long line for parents that are getting.
As children from the Rwenzoris, we have witnessed effects and climate change, like dry seasons that make our classrooms very hot in the afternoons. We have also been affected by floods that have destroyed our homes, swept away gardens, bridges, roads, schools, and also killed people. All this has affected our education journey. Who would not welcome such a project? And who would not participate in the implementation of this Green School project? As Nyambanika Primary School and as younger people of Uganda, we are proud to be at the forefront to have and protect the environment. We are the agents of change, and yes, we are in charge of your better present and future. I once again welcome you and ask you to join us and save our only planet Earth. Our school slogan is keep the environment green, plant more trees. For God and my country. Thank you.
Let's clap in many places. My name is called Simon Waredu, here representing the country director of WWF. WWF is called in full Wide Fund for Nature. And that's the little animal you see on your chest for some of you who have those t-shirts. And I know some people like calling them a kappa or pussy. We are happy with the work that you are doing. And in that line of appreciation and recognition, allow me also to use this singular honor to give thanks to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I know tomorrow you will be somewhere around here, but all of you know the history of Bunyangabo and the Rwenzori area. I think with his able leadership, we can sit here now and don't worry about anything. I think Muse is clapping. So let's clap for that, for the President. And of course, the people who have worked with the President, the resident district commissioners and the district councils and sub-county councils up to the village local council ones, LC ones, all LC ones who are here, please stand up for recognition. And if you want to know the importance of the environment, then you come to Bunyangabo. What you are seeing here in these mountains should not scare you. You should actually be happy about it. Because when you go to some parts of this world, just a few kilometers north of Gulu, and you enter Sudan and reach Egypt, you can travel for 2 or to 10 kilometers without seeing a single tree. Now, so if we come to Kinyampanika today, and we are talking about launching a green schools project, then for some of you who may not know, there are also red schools somewhere out there, or brown schools. But the opposite of green is what? When you go to the traffic lights and it is green, it means what? Go. But when it means stop, it is what? So I want to tell you that there are also red schools and red communities. They are not trees. You only see a sea of sand from here up to Fort Portal. Not even a single tree. Then the question you need to ask yourself, how do you live in such an environment? Ladies and gentlemen, looking from experiences that we have seen in many countries where we work, WWF works in over 100 countries all over the world, and we have picked lessons from many of these countries. And we say that we should not have those kind of situations of redness in the community, in schools, because it is not good for life. In our organization, we have a mission which says we work to stop the degradation of the natural environment and build a future in which humans live in harmony with nature. And a very classic example is here in Kinyampanika. Sorry for the pronunciation, because we have an issue to live in harmony with nature. It means
you have to take the interests of nature as part of your priorities, including as a school, including as a government institution, including as a community, and even households. So if you do not have priority, if you do not have nature as a priority for your family, then you are not living in harmony with nature. What does that mean? If you are the one who enters into the forest and cuts trees, and yet this is a reserve that must be protected, you are not living in harmony with nature. And you are working against the government vision 2040. You are also working against the president's vision of prosperity for all. Because the trees are there to provide benefits for all of us. So if one person goes and cuts it and gets money and puts in the pocket, are we promoting prosperity for all? No, we can't realize that. That are here, which are actually facing the highest rate of degradation, we decided together with our partners to come here and implement this project and try to educate our people and especially our children such that we can build a cadre who are going to ensure sustainable management of the environment. I will not repeat what my colleague has said, and for purposes of the record, Benjamin and your team, we thank you. I want to introduce the WWF team who are here. Please stand up for recognition. In the line of recognition, please also allow me to thank WWF Denmark for putting money into this project. And I think they deserve a clap also. Because someone up there in Europe doesn't even know about Rwenzori and comes and puts money in your community. I think that person deserves the appreciation, and we thank them so much. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing which I want to end by saying is that when we talk about green school, what are we really meaning? Is it a school whose walls have been painted with the green color? And I know the politicians are here. I do not want you to begin turning this political. Because I know there is we are meaning green is signifying a healthy environment for the sustainability of the people in that community and the environment around them. That is what green means in this context. Meaning that we plant trees and we grow them until they grow and become big trees to give us benefits. We do not cut trees and burn charcoal carelessly. It means we keep our environment clean. Throwing plastics all over the place does not make your school or community green. These plastic bottles, like this ones you see. The problem with those ones, when you throw them there, they will be washed down into the river and they will go and block the bridges, and water will overflow through the river. Before you know, the bridge that the district used a billion shillings to build has been destroyed. And now you are again asking government at Uganda. And yet, where did the problem come from? The problem just came because of poor disposal of plastic. Therefore, green management of our waste in the environment. Green means teaching our young people to become strong advocates of environmental management and sustainability. Therefore, I end by saying, all of us have a role to play. It is not only WWF, it is not only the district or the government or UWA. Everyone has a role to play. And therefore we call upon the school community in particular that you need to strive for excellence. Remember, you are 35 schools in this project. But I want to tell you that if you want to win more projects to your school, you be the best. Because if you perform poorly, when other development projects come, they will go to those ones who are doing well. And therefore, Kinyampanika, we put to you this challenge. Are you going to do well in the project? Okay, that will be good. They are the ones who suffer from the challenges that come from these natural resources. And benefit sharing schemes should be equitable but also fair, fairly distributed. And other stakeholders to come and support replication in other areas as well. As WWF, I want to give you our commitment from our country director and leadership that we will continue to work with you and we will continue to be with you even beyond the life of this project. I thank you so much for God and my country.
As Bunyangabu, we are very privileged to host you here. I do warmly welcome you to Bunyangabu District Local Government, more especially here in Kinyampanika, in Bukara Sub-County. You are all welcome. A Green Schools project, which is entirely for environmental conservation. We are part of the environment and we must live in harmony with the environment. If you look up, we are adjacent to the national park, which is Mount Rwenzori National Park. We have a direct relationship with that national park. It is a home of our biodiversity. We have the fauna and the flora, the plants and the animals living there. We share a lot in common. So, when we are launching such an important project in our 5 schools, it is very, very important that we look at that cultural heritage that we have in our area. We must interact with it sustainably. And all this originates from what values do our people cherish over such an important facility. And to me, I see it is important that we instill values, knowledge of conservation in our younger children. So this project has come at the right time to see that our learners are able to acquire these values, this knowledge, so they can grow up with a mindset change about their environment. It so happens that I also come from an area which is just adjacent to National Park. Did a lot of work to transform our behavioral change. And I'm very, very happy when I see, actually I'd like to thank the chief guest for taking us through in the crop with agroforestry, encourage agroforestry, planting species would not go to tamper with what? With our natural setting. Would not disturb the what? The forest. And let's embrace this intervention. Let's closely monitor the implementation of this intervention. Let's integrate the activities of Green School into our curriculum. Let's have time to have a nature walk to the other forest. Let it form a laboratory for us to study. We see what is there. You are aware that you have relatives up there. These primates, they are close relatives. Some of them form our tetanus. Why should we kill our friends and relatives? All this, if children grow up in that kind of environment, actually, I'm very optimistic that they do not cause any havoc and destruction to their close relatives. The teachers embrace, let's embrace this intervention and make our schools green. I'm very happy with Nyapanika. We have been reported to that there is a bamboo forest already planted along the banks of. Actually, this is a very environment. If we destroy it, then it will be to our disadvantage. If we kept it, then again, it will be to our disadvantage. If we destroy it, it will be to our disadvantage. But if we kept it, then it will be good for us. For individual, all of us here, we have a role to play. Let's engage our learners in a drama. Let them sensitize the local community. The POs that has also moved in the field, we shall always monitor the implementation of the Green School project. We shall task our head teachers. Actually, we shall work in collaboration with you, see that the implementation is well done, so that we want to have it as a success in our locality. At this juncture, allow me to take this honor to invite the head teacher, the DOs, my colleagues, to come up, those who are present, so that we can also introduce them to you and get to know them.
Good afternoon all. The chief guest, the chairperson of 5, I'm Samira Morin, the Senior Education Officer in Toroko District, representing the DEO. Thank you, and I'm grateful for the invitation from World Fund and for supporting our district and the school that they are working in. Thank you so much.
My name is Rujumba Joseph, the DEO Kabarole. I'm happy to come back home because this used to be my area. Right from Kabarole up to this side of the park was carved out as Munyangawe. And Nyapanika used to be the hardest school to reach. I'm really excited to see that the vehicles can reach here. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
For the next DEO Kasese, and I want to welcome you all and we pledge total support to this project. Thank you so much.
My name is Geoffrey Temsina, Senior Education Officer in the District of Government. I'm representing the District Education Officer here, and we also pledge our total support to Green Schools. Thank you.
That WWF is talking not of the commitments. We are going to pursue these commitments and see what they are committing, they are really doing. Yes, that is what I relate. And in summary, DEO mwikire na asima so yawo aho notwale chawe kandi tukugobera abantu bandi.
They are source of rainfall. Plant more bamboo trees to control floods. Environment. We must save the vegetation, for they act as windbreaks. Conserve the trees to stop the spread of deserts. Environment. Yes, environmental protection. Very important indeed. Plant more trees and receive fresh air. Fellow Ugandans, join hands with WWF and WUA for a better world. Thank you.
Because of the mountain that has made us unique in the whole country. We are the only district that is crossed by 5 major rivers. We have River Nsonja, we have River Yeria, River Rwimi, Peripa, Igasa. So those 5 major rivers cross the district, and we are the only district that is crossed by those rivers. We have the freshest river. Abagenzi baitu abatulize, abagenya baralizibwe n'abana baitu abamasomero. Kiro kikuru obutulio tukinguraho mu Butongole project eno ya amani eya Green School project. Abagambi baingi bagibalizeho baitu ntugonza kugiteka mu amani. That's why I've spoken in the local language for the sake of emphasis. Okujiteka hesira habo kando kujakendera omuyaga guno gukatera muna amagombora agali gatabyeire emiti kumara agali gasisire byobuhango enyuma tukatwine orubali injura y'orubali katebwe kaba affected ebicweke bimwe bya Kyamukube Kisomo na Rwimi orubali rwasisira kimwe ebintu by'abantu betwebe byona bikaija hanyuma yokusisa ebyobuhango obogendo karora obogenda mbicweka bindi nosanga hatwemerire nkahano emiti yona eitorweire kichweka betano norora eroho betite kumara kurungi obokulengera orusozi oru rwijwire emiti yonka betobogenda kurorayo nogirore ribeya bisaba kantu bisaba biti nakati hati nkatu president omukoro guno agubeireho abantu abamu ninkimanya bakubeire bakozere statement ha polisi abokuba ensozi ezo zina kuba conserved, zina kuba protected. Habweke abantu bamukama abarungi abagenyi baitu abaralizibwe abantu babunyanga babali hano muno abekicweka kine gombora ya bukara leka teke mwamani tugare ebyobuhangwa tubyale miti tubyale alhemiti ya nungi. In fact, with support from WWF to our district forest group association was supported with over 17 million shillings. Bala abantu abakulime emiti bakikora mu mulimo bakolekte bikyabo WWF yabasagika nikimanya abamu balo hano babasagika okurora ntubyale emiti egyo nungi. Statistics zolekere abantu abasirikale abarungi abalinkom UPDF n'abakora mu uwa nanka police basangira abana babakugenda bakexelinga nibo kusanga nibaruga mu byaro nibaruga mbicweka ebya abantu bakonservingira tutungira abantu benkurwa mu East nibagenda mu mine nebexelinga habokuwa nabamanyire nakura omwana na ole miti yeroho natembe miti ejo skill ya amani tume miyembe na mapera n'ebindi omwana nakura namanya sabao target musanga abantu banbataha habwekyo emiti enkuru leka tubyale emiti netukonyera mu bintu bingi nangwa in fact karitusi iyo nesise tesemiko migera nesise karitusi ni kigambe banenywa lito mtwaro kumugwa amaizi mudakikemu habwekyo nenywa muna amaizi tizikwetakisibo kubyara mu migera emigera genzere yoma habo kubyara karitusi ali emiti enungi norora nke misiri ya muhogo nkeki obo kujetoroza ku riveria miti is water friendly ne misiri yate kusiskara kandi tinaruni vakado hati vakado tungire kimbei tuina factories inkaibiri hemwe kasese mweri chenjoto nisibanzenda vakado ezo nazo muzibyali miti nungi nesike njura kana murundi ogwoni nokihama kasente kandi vakado zina nutritional values nyingi mu vakado emiyembe hati nkana isomero twatwarire emiyembe na mapera tigalo nombicweka nomaka habwekyo itweka district ntuja kwataniza nenyu tutwiremu omu mwaka guno gw'ebyensimbi n'omwaka okwija mu budget yetu tutekera mu nursery beds tujakora nursery beds ez'emiti etaliemu nemu enu guriveria eno emivule nendi tujja kutunga beds ezo nuko mwije mugiheyo mubyale mu misiri yanyu yagiye emiti yanyu ogukura n'ogutema n'ogukozesa n'obyala ugundi tuti nosanga twalinda ebyo buhanga habwekyo kiro kinu kubaire mugisa tinkumanya gwaki abatekaniza bakomera mu Kinyampanika Primary School baitu nyo nindora bagondeze kubaha mugisa. They have given you an opportunity, Mr. Head Teacher, to showcase what you have. But the teacher team kwa kusima omulima ukozeri webale kukora kurungi abana tubarora. We were here last financial year where we constructed the classroom block, but still the classrooms are not enough. If you have that component as WWF or Uganda Wildlife Authority, think about us. At least a classroom block or two can help us promote conservation and also promote education in the district. So tingina bingi byokubaza okwiha okubeka
I must be with education. I must be with education. I want to be a nurse before I learn. I want to be a nurse before I learn. I want to be a nurse before I learn. Oh, education, education, education. I must be with. Education is the key. I must be with. Education is the key. I must be with. Oh, education.
I want to be a police before I die. I want to be a police before I die. I want to be a police before I die. Oh, education, education.
Nakutendekero tunautabatende chive tokutendekero lera buli mwana kaisomera acha tuwite obiranda Kinyambani kaiwane Kinyambani kaiwane kwenene Kinyambani kaiwane Kinyambani kaiwane kwenene
The whole idea of the project, greening the schools, make children and the youth the change agents and ensure there is climate resilience in them. So at this moment,
you will be the ones to fail us. When our country director, these particular people, they are here and I want you to look at them very well. If this project fails, then you know that nobody else has failed us, but it is these schools which are neighboring the national parks. I want to go straight to the Chief Warden's speech. I'm thrilled to be here today to welcome you to the Green Schools project in the breathtaking of Rwenzori region. This initiative by WWF is close to my heart as it combines two vital aspects, and that is education
and environmental sustainability. The Green Schools project is a project which was developed through close collaboration between WWF Denmark and WWF Kampala, and it is designed by experienced team, and it will give learners an experience and learning of the climate change issues that are surrounding the Rwenzori region. The schools project, it is aimed at creating a sustainable and eco-friendly learning environment, empowering students and pupils to become stewards of environment by integrating green technologies and eco-conscious practices which can reduce carbon footprints and preserve the region's natural beauty. I want to thank WWF for this great project. You have given us many projects, but this one is really touching. Why am I saying this? We have been working with communities, the bigger people, but we neglected the young ones. And neglecting these young ones, these are our future generations. There is nothing you can do without these guys. There is nothing we can do without the students in the secondary schools. So this project is targeting both primary and secondary schools. So the secondary schools and primary schools who are here present, I mean the head teachers, please help us go back and deliver the message. This message is not only for us here who are sitting in the tent, but go back and take it, such that the bigger gathering of the students and the pupils in your schools can get to know what climate change is. Why are we trying to conserve the national parks? And why are we having them? So if we could take back the message, I believe everything will be fine. Rwenzori Mountains National Park, Queen Elizabeth, as well as Chibale National Park will all be conserved. I have a request. This is done in 5 schools. But across board of Uganda Wildlife Authority, the issues of climate change are everywhere. I pray and I request that once this project starts here and we see how best it is running, I know it is a 4-year contract, a 4-year project. Let us not wait for the 4 years to end. We can take it to other areas. We target these young ones. We target our communities and see how best tomorrow the national parks are conserved. To the districts, I don't know if the chairman is here and the DEO. We want to thank you so much for the support. We are not going to take this for granted because from your speeches, it is very clear that you really support conservation. But how much time have you put in? We don't want they pretend. But with this project, if we start with this young generation, I believe something is going to change. I am going to blame Wildlife Clubs of Uganda. I'm so happy the executive director is here. I wish you could stand up once again. The head teachers who are here, this is a guy from Wildlife Clubs of Uganda. Please sit down. Yes, he's 1 year old, but in that 1 year, I think we can do more and more. I happen to move around all these schools because Queen Elizabeth is big. It comes all the way from Rubirizi, Kanungu, and it goes up to Bundbujo. So when you are meeting these schools, the patrons who are self-appointed, that is the word I will use, or who are appointed by the schools, the one word they ask you is, how come in years way back, we used to visit these parks? What happened? We cannot go in national parks freely as we used to do. He is 1 year old, you will forgive him, but now that WWF has brought him on board, we are ready to work with him and have our pupils and students visit the national parks as they used to do. Because once you visit the national parks, we know that the information that comes from the students and pupils, it goes back to a bigger gathering. So take note, the Wildlife Club is here. WWF is ready to revamp all wildlife clubs that were in schools which had died. Can I use that word? Which had stalled. So we are going to revamp it and have our students do what they are supposed to do. Then we are doing a service to them. Thank you so much, Madam Sub-County, and the LC team which is seated there. We want to compete with other schools. What do they know about conservation? Do they support it? Do they plant trees? Do you have woodlots at your schools? Or it is just there? Because we know you have land within your schools which you can use to start up woodlots. Let every student, every child be given a seedling to go and plant home. It all starts home and it comes to school. Start nursery beds in your areas. Don't wait for the district chairperson and his team to bring you seedlings. No, even when WWF brings, they will not be enough. So we also need to help it. We need to support them by starting up our own nursery beds at our schools. To the pupils again of Kinyampanika, there was a young boy who is a head boy. He had a very good speech. You only see the park. Are you seeing there? You wonder if this park wasn't there, what would happen to the people of Bukara, of Kinyampanika, of Kateba. So that's why we are appealing to you as we launch this Green Schools project. Let it be our area of operation. We ensure that we get trees, we look for trees and we forest this mountain. The more you fail to forest the mountain, the more problems will be coming, because we have been experiencing floods in this area and in other areas. With support from WWF, there are many activities, there are many projects that are running here. But a country director, they are not enough. We really request for more in this area, so that when we come back here, then you see a different mountain. When the sub-county chief is listening, when the LCs of this area are listening, the money for revenue sharing from Uganda Wildlife Authority is not supposed to construct school classrooms for schools. Bana DEO, this is yours as a district. What UWA does is to give this 20% money back to the communities who are faced with challenges of human-wildlife conflict, and those who don't have what to use and get some income. So we use it as livelihood and human-wildlife conflict. I wanted to clarify that because it was re-echoed and echoed and echoed. So
my name is Benjamin Ojelele Tubi. I'm the project manager Green Schools Project, working with the WWF. I'm based in the Kasese office. This Green Schools Project is a 4-year project running in 5 districts of Rwenzori. That is in Toroko, Kabarole, Bunyangabu, Kasese, and Rubirizi. The project is targeting 35 schools across the landscape, and in this school, it's targeting to reach out to 31,000 learners across the 5 districts. Also, it's targeting 350 teachers. That's 10 teachers per school to be trained, their capacity strengthened to deal with what we are calling now the challenge of climate change in Rwenzori Mountains National Park. The beneficiaries here will be first the children themselves to be trained in different packages of climate resilience and climate adaptation in these schools. Among other things that the project will be looking at is establishing school nurseries in schools, teaching children climate adaptation technologies like kitchen gardens, food towers, food forests, teaching them on how to manage woodlots, teaching them on waste management, and encouraging them to escalate and continue this at home. So at the end of it, all after the 4 years, we want also to see the schools have the green policy adapted. We want to see that the new curriculum, which is climate resilient, is in place. And then we also want to see that the nature clubs have been created voluntarily across all these schools so that we can foster conservation and climate adaptation across Rwenzori landscape. Yeah. Hosting the wildlife clubs, and then the wildlife clubs of Uganda as our partner, Atei, that is our partner as well, then Kima Foods. So with these three partners, they will be implementing directly with the children the various activities that are entailed in this project to see that they get the knowledge, they get the skills, they get the practical tactics that will enable them adapt and manage the challenges of climate change. And then at the local level, we have the school management committees, we have the parents who will give us the space, the land for restoration. So this is basically what the Green Schools project is aiming at. It's a 4-year project running through the 5 districts in Rwenzori. And we are very happy today that we launched this project. We are just looking into action now that all the stakeholders to join and we push the project forward.
To ensure that the Green Schools project kicks off, and we support it wholeheartedly.
Uganda Country Office, we commit to empowering children and youth to become change agents for the environment and sustainable management of the natural resources and climate change adaptation. With this, we commit by appending our signature on this book.
Representing the Uganda Town Council and the Somoro Sub-County, I'm also a chairperson of Finance Planning and Administration in Uganda District Local Government, and I'm here standing in for the Chairman Local Council 5. Thank you.
All the 5 districts, as Education Department, we really commit to work hand in hand with UWA to make sure that we bring the schools and environment. I'm Dio Cabarol, I'm signing, and the rest of the DOs are also going to sign. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that we are partners to this development, and it's like you are talking to be already converted. Kima Foods as an NGO, we are committing our institution, including the owners of the organization and the affiliate members of this organization, to the empowering the children and the youth to become change agents for sustainable resource management and climate change adaptation. You are actually talking to the converted. We are going to do this work with you, and we pledge to work with you. Thank you very much.
Renewable resources management and climate change adaptation.
Clap for him. Let's clap for the head boy. You can sign down. Where are you exactly? Very good.
Me to employing children and youth became changing agents for establish resource management and climate change adaptation.
Clap for her. Then you can stand just next to the head boys.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of selected schools in Yangabu district, we commit to empowering children and youth to become change agents for sustainable resources management and climate change adaptation. Thank you. We sign.
I'm seeing Kasese is warming up.
Of all the selected schools in Kasese district, we commit to empowering children and youth
become change agents for sustainable resource management and climate change adaptation. And by this, we append our signatures.
Dear people, Uganda Radio Network, NBS, NTV, Monitor, New Vision, Life FM, Ngabo FM, we commit to empowering children and youth become change agents for sustainable resources management and climate change adaptation. We commit.
Another one.
Take it there, but also the chief guest. We've moved a long distance, and we hope that we have a very long distance to move. So right about now,
My name is Simon Weredong, Head of Programs in WWF Uganda, and we are here today in the foot of the Rwenzori Mountains for the launch of a project codenamed Green Schools Project. Green Schools Project is going to work amongst schools and communities that are neighboring the Rwenzori National Park, and these are around 35 schools in total. The Green Schools Project is addressing challenges that are presented to most of our natural resources in Uganda, like forests, like national park, as a result of low livelihood opportunities and incomes amongst the local population and the schools. They lack firewood, they don't have shade in their schools, windbreaks, and as a result of that, in order to secure livelihoods, they go to the national parks and the forests around in order to get these services, and that causes pressure and degradation of these natural resources. So as WWF, a conservation organization, our mission is to work to stop the degradation of the natural environment and building a future in which humans live in harmony with nature. So if a school can not avoid going to the forest and the national park to get trees, to get logs, to get income, then that is not living in harmony with nature, and that creates an imbalance in the ecosystem, and that can only exacerbate environmental problems and climate change impacts in that community. So Green Jobs Project is working to build the resilience of these schools by putting trees in the compounds, putting trees in the woodlots where they can get their own fuel wood. They can sell some of them when they mature and they convert them into timber so that they get income for their own school needs and communities. So in doing that, we are building the resilience of these communities and schools so that they reduce the pressure they would have imposed in the natural environment.
My name is Amompele Bismarck Moses. I'm the Executive Director of Africa Tourism and Environment Initiatives at AE. I want to speak beginning from some small research that we've made. Research has it that people who are a little bit old, my age and maybe upwards, are not easily changed in terms of mindset or behavior changes. The whole aspect is that if we are to bring in the aspect of mindset change and behavior change, it needs to come from a bit on a tender age. That's why I'm saying that the children and the youth are the biggest component of people that we need to deal with, that we need to target as far as this is concerned. That's why I am exceedingly excited, because as ATEI, we are youth-led and we work with youth and we work with initiatives that communicate to the youth, because we know that youth and children are very influential, are very impactful, and they are stakeholders who are going to actually take on all these solutions for now and the future generations. And why am I saying this? The Green Schools project is something that excites me, that humbles my heart for a number of reasons. For example, we are very ready to make sure that these kids have a connection with the trees. From our project, the Pet a Tree, we're going to come up with an app whereby every tree that is planted is attached to someone's name. Every tree that is planted is attached to some personality, and people are considering trees as friends. That's why we are saying Pet a Tree. We're going to take this initiative in all these 35 schools that we're going to work with, and we are very excited about it, and we can't wait to make sure that all the trees are recorded, all the trees are known, and all the trees grow. All the trees that are planted grow. Time for planting trees is done, and we are beginning the time for growing trees. We cannot grow without planting, but growing is a thing. Let's all stand up and plant a tree. The Green Schools projects, courtesy of WWF and in partnership with ATEI. Thank you.
Alice Natioanl, Community Conservation Warden for Rwenzori Mountains National Park. But right now I had come to represent the Chief Warden of Elizabeth Conservation Area at this function. The function of today was to launch the Green Schools project, a project which is supported by WWF and the other partners, of which we think the students and the young and the pupils will go ahead to start up their nursery bed, and they also plant their woodlots. With these woodlots, we have a feeling that the communities going to the park will stop, because this has been a very big challenge to us, and with the WWF support through schools, both primary and secondary school, we shall ensure that these young ones go and educate their parents to stop spoiling the environment, but instead support the community conservation activities and in the area.